Hello, welcome back to Psychonauts. If you remember last time, we introduced ourselves to all the crazies, and now we're gonna go inside this guy's head. Seems legit.
Yeah, like,
What is this? Are you
what
working
was
on an
happening?
abstract
Like,
piece?
it's been 2 weeks since we last recorded,
Nice
and this
use
guy
of
came
color.
out of nowhere. What the hell is this deal?
Okay, so we got into the asylum. We met three people. We walked past three people.
Right.
And one of them was a guy guarding an elevator that leads higher up into the asylum. So this guy has rage issues,
That's an impressive house
and
of
he
cards
makes
you're
art.
building there.
And still,
And he
not high enough
he
to
actually
reach the sky.
signed
Free
himself
from
into
Who
the
is she?
I only know
insane
that she's
asylum.
beautiful. Perfect.
Really?
But
And sad.
as you're gonna see, all of
day
these
she
people have
cries
like
rose
serious
petals.
issues.
And I
Well,
can do
actually,
nothing
two of them have serious issues. One of
because my
them's not
creation
supposed to be here.
lacks something. And
Oh wait,
it
I
will
forgot the
what's
milkman.
stand
He has serious
against the
issues too.
poor.
What?
Audio.
What, the person who's not supposed to be here, why is he here then? Did someone, like, imprison
He
him,
was,
or?
he was an orderly, but something happened that caused his. This is about.
Somewhere along the way,
This is going to
I
get
feel
kind
that I
of
know something
Assassin's
important,
Creedy here.
but I
His
do not
genetic
know.
memory
Oh,
of one
It's
of
your
his
twins.
ancestors
You want me to go
took
look
over
for
his
them?
body,
Bring me
so he's
any
been
cards
wandering
you
around
have.
in a straight
I
coat.
must complete this tower.
Straight
Yes.
jacket.
That's something I never understood. How that could possibly be a thing, like a genetic memory. Like, there's no way a memory could be encoded into someone's DNA, right? Because it's just a string of neurons. So like, that's something I never understood about like Assassin's Creed, like the Animus and whatnot. And I guess I thought Assassin's Creed was the only one, you know, like did that sort of thing, but I guess not. And what the hell is this? This bull guy.
Is El Odio. He's running through the town and causing
Are you all right?
a ruckus.
Poor little guy. Little
He's
nick
not
on
in a
his
China shop.
frame.
Hey, oh, there's probably a
Maybe
China
I
shop
can
in the
cover
town.
that up with a price tag or something.
And now we have a Mexican dog. That's sorry, he might be Spanish. I don't know.
Fun fact, Mythbusters actually aligned rolls of china
Enjoy
like
your
on
new art
shelves
there. Well,
and had a bull in a pen with them, and the bull actually ran around them instead of running
Now I
into
can
them.
get Edgar's car.
Really?
Yep.
Did they try putting anything else on the I don't know, maybe like
Well, I
red
just think the bull isn't trying to hit anything. He's just trying to live
he's
his
just
life
trying
as
to
a
be
bull.
like, oh man, I don't want to, I might cut myself on this China. I'll just walk
Well,
around.
it could be anything. He just doesn't want to hit anything.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that bulls are colorblind, so the color red doesn't do anything more to anger them than any other color.
Well then, what the hell? How that become a thing then?
It's the movement of the thing makes them angry, or it makes them charge at it.
Right.
So
So it could be any color.
It could be any color. Just they've used red, so red became like it makes bulls angry, but no, it doesn't. It's just them moving it makes them angry.
If I remember correctly, it's the they used red because it's the color of blood. It disguises the matador's blood if he gets hit.
I feel like if he gets
Deadpool
hit,
logic.
I feel like if he gets hit, there are bigger fish to fry here than if we
Yeah.
can see his blood or not.
Hey, they don't want people freaking out in the audience.
And they probably shouldn't show it. Really, I mean, I don't know. People watch it
Yeah.
because it's dangerous. If something dangerous happens, that's like what,
Well,
what do you
that's like-
expect?
It seems to me like, you know, people
I mean,
would.
it's like you watch NASCAR specifically so you can watch a wreck.
Scheme a trunk track for this guy.
And that makes me feel. See, I do that. I watch NASCAR. I don't hope for a wreck, but the wreck is the most. Crashes are the most entertaining part, but that makes me feel really bad because people could get hurt. Because then they'll stop NASCAR, and then I won't get to see more crashes.
Well, I mean, people have gotten hurt in the past, and that didn't
Enjoy
stop
your
them.
new art there.
True, but it doesn't happen often
Well,
enough.
see ya.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often
I need
enough
to steam a trunk
for somebody to be like, "Oh, we should stop this."
Yeah. But NASCAR is just one of those sports that it looks a lot less intense than it is, because I heard that like it's really hard, like physically, to steer the car because it doesn't have power steering, and it's really hot and all this like intense stuff. But it just looks like they're driving around in circles. But I would never be a
Yeah,
NASCAR
so
driver.
this is one of my favorite things about this level, by the way. If you notice, Raz's levitation ball is like a bright purple.
Excuse me, ma'am, but
I really like that it changes the color of everything.
help! Let me
Wait,
in!
why is it purple?
Just this stage, for whatever reason, changes the color of Raz's abilities.
Oh really? Do the stages always do that, or just
No,
this
I
one?
think this is the only one that does that.
Got hit by the bull. Oh, this is like running of the bulls, except you're running the wrong direction. No, you're supposed to go away from the bull. Away from. Okay, never mind.
Well, I'm looking at the games that were announced at E3. Just to date that video, so when the Sphere came out. But the only two that really interest me are The Walking Dead Season 3 and then We Happy Few. There might be one or two that I would like, I don't really care to look them up. But The Walking Dead Season 3 looks like they just kind of, I'm guessing they kind of just canceled out the endings that happened in 2 because it was so vastly different. They can't really make a game out of it, and then put the main character grown up a little bit, and then
Is it? Wait, are the Walking Dead games actually good? Because that's a TV adaptation. That would be rare.
no, it's a comic
they-
adaptation.
Yeah.
Oh really? It's
the
played for
game-
Yeah,
laughs?
no, we're talking about you're talking about the TV series The Walking Dead, which does have a game, but we're talking about the other The Walking Dead, the one made by Telltale Games.
Yes.
Oh, so it's completely
Well,
different.
No, it's
Yeah.
like the same.
Well, yeah,
well,
it's kind of based on it, but it's
the way
it's not,
the way it works is that the comics were first, and then the TV show was based on the comics, but is in like a different universe because things happen differently. But in the games are in the same world as the comics. So, and it's like, and they try to keep that unique by not showing many characters in both, but they have Glenn in the comics. He was in the game, the first season, like the first episode, and then he left, and that's where I got into Atlanta to save Rick and all that stuff.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's just
and-
all over the place in terms of what came first and what's influencing
Well,
what.
The comic is the main influencer, but the comic and the game are in the same world. The show is a whole different, its own thing. And you can tell because if you read the comics and then watch the show, it's vastly different.
Oh, okay.
Like in the comics, like Carol like dies super early, and she is still alive in the show. And she should have been dead like 3 seasons ago if it was going by comic logic. And also Carol's daughter, who dies in like the 2nd season, is still alive in the comics. So, and is like Carl's love interest. Whatever.
Does Carl still have his eye in the comics?
Oh
Or is
no,
that something-
that happens. It happens differently, but it still happens.
Oh, okay. Because that's pretty much. I don't really watch The Walking Dead, so that's pretty much all I know. About
The
that.
show isn't very good.
Wake up, little man.
Really?
The show
I
is
thought
the.
it was popular.
Tonight.
It's very popular. It's not good. Well, like the thing is,
What are you talking about?
It
You will
it's
fight me
it
for my
fits this
blood,
like thing where it's like,
Well, I
let's
am
not
looking for
kill off a
some
main
car
character unless it's a season finale or season premiere.
Right, the same
Like,
man is going to have to
Only
bend
like
way
towards the
over
end
to
or the
reach you,
beginning of
because you are so
seasons is when they kill off important
beep, beep,
characters.
beep, beep.
So the middle episodes are so
Alright, I
boring.
Just shut
Because
up.
nothing
Let's
happens,
go.
and the
Yeah,
stakes are so low because you know they're not gonna die in this episode because it's the middle of the damn season.
Microscopic spectacle
yeah, and
your
like,
attempts to make
and
me
people are
suffer.
and they're so stupid and die for stupid fucking reasons too. Like, there was this one episode where a girl ends up dying later, but that's from a different. That's because someone killed her, not a zombie. But she opens a car with a zombie in it to get a cooler that's on the other side. And the entire time I was thinking, kill the zombie first and then get the cooler. But no, she just opened the other. She went around because it was a driver's seat and a passenger seat. The passenger had the cooler. The driver's seat had the zombie in it with a seatbelt on. So like the zombie can't get out of the seatbelt. But she instead of opening that door and stabbing the zombie in the face like they've done several times, she just decides to go around to the other side of the car, open it, and try to grab the cooler. And I'm just like, are you guys fucking dumb? And I get they don't want to use bullets, but I'm like, yeah, don't use bullets, use your knife, because you've killed zombies with your knife several times. It just they don't. I don't know, if I was in a zombie apocalypse, even if I knew a zombie couldn't hurt me, I would kill it just in case. Because there's several times where they just walk by like zombies on the ground that are like stuck to something or tied to something, and half the time like they end up getting out and either hurting someone or almost hurting someone. And I'm just like, why don't you just kill every zombie you see? There's no reason to keep them alive at all. And it's no harm to just take your knife and stab him in the face. Like, it's super easy. But no.
No, I think that's among one of my least favorite writing excuses. Poor writing techniques is when somebody dies or some bad outcome that was completely preventable, and obviously preventable. It's not just like a retrospect type thing, but where you're saying to the screen, this is the first time you've seen this, do this and everything will be okay, and they don't, and you cannot be the only one to see that.
Well, and they kind of ruined the season 6 finale, so I'm kind of done with the show. And it's not, and like, I hate the way the creator talked about it too. He was like, people are just angry because da da da, and I was like, no, we're not, because you don't even fucking understand why we're angry, and you don't fucking care what we think, so why the fuck should I watch? Yeah, I don't know. He was just really dismissive about everything, even though they kind of ruined that entire scene in the last, and when in the comics it was like the best scene in the comics ever, and the show it just like ruined it. And then he was like, oh, people will get over it, no one cares, it's such a small thing, like, and it's one of the best moments like in the series in total, but in the show it's not gonna be good because they decided to split it in half and show half of it at the beginning of a season and then half of it at the end of the season, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then he tried to like equate it to Star Wars, and I'm like, that doesn't even fucking make sense. Well, because he was like, oh, okay, so there's a character who dies in this scene. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone not watching, or anyone watching. So so there's a character who's supposed to die in this scene, and it's by this other guy who's a big enemy in the future of the series. So so that guy's supposed to kill someone on Rick's team. So so basically in the comics he kills someone who a lot of people love, and it's brutally, he beats him with a baseball bat, and you can see everything. It's very like graphic. But in the show they showed this, like, it started the scene, and then the way it ended was a POV shot from the person like who gets hit by the bat, but you don't see who it is, and then the guy just brings his bat down like in a swinging motion, and then it blacks. So that's the end of that season.
What?
So like, so you don't know who he killed, but the the scene itself was super powerful up to that moment, because that's how the scene is, because it's super powerful at that moment. And then to finish off the scene, it's supposed to hit you with someone's death, like the comics did, where it's something super graphic and super like intense. But by splitting off the seasons, they've kind of just completely ruined that. And then their reasoning behind it was like, well, whoever dies in this season has a big impact in the next seasons. And I'm like, okay, but isn't that always the fucking thing anyway? Like, isn't the second season influenced by what happened in the first season? Hasn't that always been a thing? Like, entirely, ever, in the series at all, in any show at all? But, whatever, who cares? Who fucking, yeah.
No, man, I feel like that would just dissolve whatever tension there was that was built
Yeah.
up.
Can you fight bulls? I have a bull.
Yeah, that's one like the big points of it. And then the guys are like, you guys are just mad because we didn't show who died. And I'm like, well, I'm not really mad to show who it is, because honestly right now I fucking hate like all the characters because the show is super boring. But it's super boring and then acts like really deep and like psychological and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not into this. like one character, she starts like opening like for one episode she starts talking about how she had a brother who died, and then she ends up dying, and then you see Daryl, he grabs her little keychain with her brother's name on it that she was holding like throughout that episode, and he like holds it after she dies and like keeps it with him. And then I'm like thinking, I was like, but that's not really deep. Like, he had no connection to her brother, like, and he barely even knew her. He like just started talking to her this episode. Like, there's no like deepness there at all. It's not really like a thing, but whatever.
Gotta go.
So this is just a disappointing show, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. It needs to work better, like in total, and actually feel like something's gonna happen. And I don't know, maybe if. And the biggest thing I'm worried about is they're not actually gonna show the scene where whoever gets killed, because it has to be super brutal to make the same like connection with the guy, because you're supposed to hate the guy who kills one of the people. So my biggest worry is they're not gonna show him actually dying, like the person getting killed, because that like the scene loses basically every single intensity it might have been able to pick up on in the season premiere. So if they don't show it, I'm not gonna watch the show anymore, because that's fucking dumb.
I don't know, man. It kind of seemed like you were done with the show already.
I am too, like, I do like reviews on my personal channel, and you could see around that time the reviews were getting like super like there would be gaps between the reviews, even though the show was like every week. And that's because I like would put off watching the show because it was more of a chore than anything else. Like the new episode would come out and I would wait like 2 weeks and then be like, okay, I can watch it. Yeah. And I actually like was playing a video game watching the season finale just because I was so bored.
Well, you have to start. Yeah, you have to finish.
Yeah, it just.
So, I saw that we got a new power-up on the screen.
I work it out.
I have to do the obligatory. I can't
Why
even
don't
look
you guys just make a
at
run
it! What was it do?
Hello, dear prisoners.
Oh, I missed like 5 episodes, so I don't know
Is the only
anything.
day that it's going to be this cheap.
Well, is
All
Wolf
the
still here?
orphanages go up tomorrow because of tourist season.
Wolf!
I don't know. Maybe he
Yes.
left. Hey, Wolf.
What does the Wrecking Ball power-up do?
Could you tell me again?
Wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah, I know. We missed it, but I saw it on screen and I was still curious about it.
Okay, so you know how I have that ball that I roll around on with the levitation ability, right?
I felt like I was being
So when I get going at full speed, that can now damage people.
Oh.
So that's what it does.
Alright. still not levitation though.
No, but
not
I
letting
did
that
find
go.
out. I did find something out. And I watched a speed run of this, and I found out that you can actually fly with the levitation ability. Because when you use it, it moves Raz upwards just a little bit. So if you sit there and spam it a bunch, he can slowly float
What's that
upwards.
smell?
That smells like
Oh my
fear,
god.
boy.
Did you try? Was this after? Did you watch this after?
After finishing
you
recording,
finished
yes.
No, I'm talking about an actual smell.
I would like to
But
see.
it's crazy
see you
because
try that.
Bombs laid eggs
Yeah,
and
it's
then
crazy
those went
because
bad.
it slows down, or no, it slows down. It cuts out the majority of a few levels, including this one. Because
Oh,
the
no.
developers put the loading zone for the boss in this level. It's there. You just can't reach it by what you're intended to do in the game. But because you can float indefinitely upwards, you can reach it. So after the first fight with Tiger, you can go straight to the bottom of the level. What's even funnier is which level is it? The Milkman level gets cut so short by that ability. You can pretty much float straight to the area where the sewer workers are. And then from there, you can enter the sewer loading zone by going around it. You can go under the platform and get to the loading zone that way.
So
and they won't.
are you gonna use that? Are you gonna use that trick every time now?
Probably.
I see.
Probably.
Have
And
you
then from
tried
there,
it? Like,
I haven't tried it yet. I do know that it only works on the PC version of the game, though.
oh,
Because the PC version runs at 60 frames, while the console versions are 30.
okay. So is
Soon they'll be
the
dragging
PC
your
like
ass
is
out
the
of
PC
here.
version like the definitive one for
Hey,
speedrunning
you
then,
late?
or are there different
Did you hear that?
categories for consoles
Yeah.
and PC?
Yeah.
I wonder if developers think about this now, because like speedrunning's pretty.
It's gotten pretty big lately, so you've got to wonder how many developers are like, oh yeah, the speedrunners will really get a kick out of this.
Like, I feel like a lot of them don't really think too much about it, but at the same time, there could be people who put in like purposeful exploits.
I do know that the developers of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze definitely thought about the speedrunning community at some point.
Really?
Because if I remember correctly, they did say something about Cranky's ability being intended for speedruns. And they also, like, there is the Donkey Kong Country Returns series has individual level runs in it. Which means you can go to each level and do a time trial. And on top of that, you can also look at other people doing that level, and you can watch them doing it so that you can learn the tricks.
Oh, I see.
It's pretty cool, actually.
There are probably still people who discover really weird exploits that are separate from that.
No,
oh yeah,
no
if I take if I take Donkey Kong and
Yeah,
make
it's
him
been
like
said before that no matter how much effort you put into a game, you cannot make it perfect. You cannot ever make it non-exploitable. There will be something, a bug, a glitch, something that allows people to just do whatever they want.
And the speedrunners are if you make your game airtight, they're just gonna try harder until they find something, and they will find something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna have Donkey Kong binge watch Game of Thrones with Diddy Kong sitting to his right for exactly 30 seconds, and then that's going to glitch me to the last level.
Yeah.
Things like that.
One of the biggest things, the ultimate goal, I guess, of speedrunning in general, if you can find a way to access the game's memory, you can always find some kind of exploit.
Right. It's still just astounding to me how, like, people find these things. Like, every time I watch AGDQ, like, it's like, how long did it take you to figure out that that was the way to do it? And I would never be able to pioneer, like, a route of a speedrunning game, because I've never been good at trying everything on everything.
Yeah.
Which seems to be, like, what you have to do in
Like,
order to find
very
these
specifically,
things.
one particular exploit I remember from Donkey Kong Country 64. Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong 64, one exploit is just completely insane. Like, I don't know how they figured this out, but apparently, in order to get into the second level without actually unlocking it, what you have to do is line yourself exactly right with the door, and then fire off 5 orange grenades. Exactly 5. Then let them hit you and do a backflip through the door.
Well, maybe you can write it off on your taxes as a loss.
Yeah, like...
And
somebody,
like they explain
somebody...
why this works, and it makes sense, but it's still just like,
How'd you think of that?
how did you figure this out?
It's like, okay, I'm gonna shoot once, backflip. Okay, it didn't work. I'm gonna shoot twice, and backflip. Okay, it didn't work.
You know, the famous
Like,
Like,
were they
technically you
going
can
to...
do it.
discount.
Technically, you can do it more than 5 times. The only point is that you need to create a certain amount of lag in order to glitch through the door. Because,
so it's taking advantage
Again,
of
I
the,
don't know
uh,
how they figured this out,
Look,
but
I'm
Donkey
sorry,
Kong
but eating
64
lunch
has an
every day in the
interesting
art
way of
teacher's room
dealing
does
with
not make
lag.
you a famous
It
painter.
actually
Anyway, you only did
slows
that
the
to hide out from the
entire
school
game
wrestling
down, so that you don't notice that anything
There's
slowed
no
down.
shame in hiding from wrestlers. They're trouble.
What,
Especially
don't you
the
notice
wild
that the
animals.
game slowed down?
Oh, what do you mean?
No,
Like dogs, huh?
or they
you got a
speed. No, they
problem with
speed
me
it up.
now?
Oh, okay.
That makes more
Yeah,
sense. They speed it up, and that's why you're moving
I would like to
faster,
wrestle.
so you can get through
Let's
the.
go.
You can glitch through the door
Look, man, are you gonna buy something or what?
for whatever reason.
Has
And
Edgar
I
always had a problem with
think if you
wrestlers?
do that,
No way.
it doesn't
In fact,
like
he
you
used
just.
to be the
It's
captain
good
of his
enough.
high school wrestling team. He took them
There's
all
another
the
one.
way
In
to
order
the
to get
state
into level
semifinals
6
one
without
year, and then he
unlocking
choked.
it
Cost the
officially,
team the
you
entire
just have
match.
to
Why
jump
did he
onto the,
choke?
like,
Did they get
you
him in one of
grab
those
onto the
driver
ledge and
things?
then you sidle
No,
around to the other
Edgar's
side, because
girlfriend
apparently
Lana Penzoni
only the
dumped him
front-facing
after
half of
first
the boulder
period for
exists.
Dean LeGrant, the head of her cheerleading squad. Peckley was worthless
standard.
after that. The other team just tossed him around.
I think they
the
had
rest of the
Grant
day
Kirkhope
like a
or
half
someone
sack
like
of
that
pork rinds.
watch
Oh man.
when they were
His
playing
squad
that
hated
game,
him
and
after
he
that.
was just
The
like,
whole school did.
the things you guys
How
find,
sad.
I just don't even
Especially since it all
understand.
happened to him again with being a one-man Peter.
I don't either. Most people don't. Like, I want to see.
Yeah, they exist.
I want to see
Not
like
made up at all, those
someone
two.
time, like
Sheesh.
how long
Hey,
it takes
I
them
got
to
some original
find.
Picassos over
like,
here
a
if you're
glitch
interested,
or
by the
whatever.
way. The one who
Because
painted these, okay?
I know I would never have time for that, but I'm curious to know how long like people have to go and do this game in order to get this
Fair
good
warning,
at it.
that's the end of the video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, no, I cut these awkwardly because there's a bunch of downtime where I'm just lost or wandering around. I didn't want them to get too short. So,
No, that's fair. I'm gonna have
that
similar
happened.
problems with Wind Waker. I can tell you that right now.
so we will be back in the next episode.
Bye.